Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Model Boardroom. Just give me a second as I sort out one or two quick things here. We got a great session lined up for you this evening, that's for sure. So, hi everybody, good evening, and welcome to the Model Boardroom. As you know, I'm only the chairman, you are my board of directors, so we have you to answer all your questions. We've got a great evening lined up for you, of course, this evening. And we're going to get started in a few minutes fully. So please, let's get ready to rumble, as I like to say. Make sure you tell all your friends and family what's going on, because get them to join. This is free information by the best people that are out there that will come to you and tell you everything there is to know about the modeling industry. So please start spreading the word. We're going to start. Let me introduce myself to everybody. My name is Shola Yebade, aka also known as Mr. Mahogany. And as you know, I'm your chairman for today in the Model Boardroom. The Model Boardroom is an interactive talk show brought to you by Mahogany Model Management. And today we're talking about grooming and etiquette, a very important topic. So start getting your questions ready so that you can ask our special guest, Nana, who will be on very soon, or myself as to questions about the whole thing around grooming. Also, we're going to spread it out a little bit. You know, I want to talk about placements with her, how she gets models placed, because as a small agency, she's managed to get a lot of her models placed into some of the big agencies around the world. So we definitely want to be talking about that with her as well. So, as you know, this show, it focuses on everything modeling and fashion related. And of course, we always like to answer your questions around anything that relates to the modeling industry. Zane has joined, so we're hoping that they will now come on live with us. So, you know, this is your show. It's definitely your show. So please just make sure that you have all your questions, comments. We'll be reading them as we're going along. We'll be answering your questions as we're going along. So please, 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 let's get going. Nana will be joining us very, very soon. Here we go. I love it when my guests are amazing. Big, big, big things that they're doing within the industry in such a short space of time. She has come up to be one of the major players. And there we have her, the lovely, the beautiful, the gorgeous, the elegant, the delectable Nana Okeke. Hey!
Mr. Shola, good evening, sir.
Nana, how are you?
I'm great,
Always
thank you.
looking glamorous. Those of us, we are doing lockdown. We are just managing, looking scruffy. See you, hair is on point, makeup is on point, everything is on point. I can see
Mr.
lockdown
Shola,
is treating you well, though. Talk to us. How has your lockdown been?
uh, we've been trying, coping, trying to keep safe. You know how it's going now, trying to strategize on how we can remain in business, with everything that is going on, you know,
I trust you.
basically.
I trust you. But before I get into the nitty gritty of all the things we're going to talk about today, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let me just do an introduction of you so that everybody gets to know you. I can see some of your models already coming online and calling out your name, and people that know you from different parts of the world. It's okay. We are not all as famous as you, but you can see, yay, Nana. Not anybody has greeted me. Oh, it's yay, Nana, Nana, Nana. It's okay. So Nana Okeke is an accountant with an MBA. Guys, MBA, not they look at him as one small little chico. MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And I don't even know why you're doing modeling, because the MBA is in oil and gas. Instead of you to be stealing our millions and making serious money, you're doing modeling. Anyway, Sha, she had worked in a bank, and in an oil and gas firm before she fully ventured into model management. She went on to start Zane Models in 2016, um, but eventually went into operations with it in 2017. So, guys, please give Nana a big welcome, thumbs up, hearts, all that sort of stuff, as we welcome
Thank
our
you,
oil
Mr.
and gas
Shola.
modeling magnet. That's right, that she's not.
Mr.
That's why you
Shola.
can smile like this. So, guys, no, seriously, those of you watching, is it not? This is oil and gas money that is smiling on
Mr.
you.
Shola, this is not Haba. How many years ago? This is not oil and gas, I beg. Oil and gas is a long time gone.
Okay, so let's get down in. Let's get to the business because they don't want to hear us just. People have come on board to come and find out some of the nitty gritty about what's going on. So I have to ask you, you started your modeling agency with many big brands out there. You know, I will name them. There was a few. There was Beth. There was ISIS. That were out
Yes.
there, and they were doing big things. They owned the market. They had locked down the international market. So why did you decide to come and compete with them or to set up Zane?
Well, I would say that I myself wanted to be a model, and
I can see.
but because I'd started working professionally, and by the time I came in, I would say I noticed a couple of things that weren't working, with the way I wanted it to work. It wasn't the professional way that I expected things to work, coming from a professional field, but it was something I really wanted to do. So I decided, okay, I was going to venture into modeling. But before I did that, I went to a model academy. I actually went to Bed Model Academy before I decided to go into modeling, and then I traveled as well, and I went to visit. I would call names. I went to Ford Models, and then I went to see the director, and then I actually opened up and asked questions about the modeling industry, how it works, what are the challenges that I could face along the line. What exactly do I stand to gain, and all that. So that was how I started modeling, and then of course, I won't say it was easy in the beginning. There were times that I was asking myself if I was doing the right thing or if I was supposed to go back to my normal 9 to 5. But firstly, I see the things, modeling is something that helps you touch lives. You're definitely touching lives, you're changing lives, you're changing somebody's story, you're changing family stories, and that for me it means a lot to me, that keeps me going, so yes.
Okay, so what I want to do with you, I want to split your interview into two parts, okay? I want to
Okay.
talk a little about the etiquette and the grooming. But where I really want to put my energy on with my interview with you is to talk about what it's like as a small agency competing with
Okay.
the big agencies, particularly from getting your models into shows, getting them placed. What are the difficulties that you face? How have you taken on the big boys, and how have you got to this level? That's going to be part two. So we're coming back. Let's first deal with some of these etiquette questions that we brought up. So when
Okay.
I do shows, yes, some of the times I hear they don't say it to me because they have sense. They have sense. But I hear
Okay.
that sometimes when they're doing their hair and their makeup, they want to start with arguing with their hair or the makeup team. I don't want my hair like this. Don't do this with it.
Yes.
Don't do my makeup like this. Do you understand? Or when they finish the makeup, they're trying to take it off or they're trying to adjust it, etc., etc. Is that acceptable practice for models? What's your views on this?
I think that's wrong. um First of all, I think there are better ways to pass your message, because I hear a lot of models who go on set and they're like, I don't want my hair like this, like you said, but I personally train my models, so they know that I do not want to get feedback like that when they go out there. So I would say models need to learn to be professional. There's a difference between being confident and being arrogant. And I think they do not understand the difference. So you go from being confident to being arrogant and you don't realize when you have crossed the line. If you do not like a particular thing, I think there's someone in charge you can speak to. But if you're coming on set, if you're picked for a show, first of all, whatever works for the show, you're not the casting director, you're not the owner of the show. Whatever works for the show is what is going to happen. If you do not like your hair, leave the show. It's not debatable. You know, this is the makeup that's going to be done for every model. You do not like it, leave the show. You know, you weren't forced to be on that show. You came for a casting. You were picked for the casting. You were told what is going to happen at the show. So you can't come and feel maybe because you have worked in quote different countries, and then you come and then you say, oh, when I worked in Paris, this wasn't what they did to my hair. I was able to do this, I was able to do that. My darling, this is a show in Nigeria. This is Lagos Fashion Week. This is what is going. This is the mood board for Lagos Fashion Week. This is what is going to fly for Lagos Fashion Week, and that's what you have to do. You know, I think models need to be very professional. Not a lot of them are very professional. They need to learn to be professional. You know, modeling is not about glamour. You know, a lot of people think modeling is just a glamorous thing. You know, it just there's a lot of work that goes into it. So, first of all, they need to understand that before they decide to venture into modeling. Modeling is not child's play. It's not something you just wake up, not because you're tall, you know, then you think you're a model. You know, you have to have the right attitude for that.
I mean, I want to take it a step further just to make it clear so there's no misunderstanding. Yes. And Nana, what we want from you here is please don't sugarcoat things.
Oh, no, I'm going to say that it is.
Say it as it is, because that's the way they will learn. Because when they get sent home now, they'll come and say, my Oga did not tell me it was like this. So, but the thing about it is that modeling is very different from other professions, because at the end of the day, as a casting director, as a show producer, I have a look and a feel that I want. So it is very likely that when I did the casting, I looked at you and said, right, this hair or this model mood board that I have is going to work perfectly for you. So if I put green, whatever you call it, eyeshadow on one, and I put purple on the other, it's not for you to come and say, oh, I don't really like it, blah, 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 blah. Once the job is finished, you have cleanser, you wash it off, and you go back to how you do it. But for that show, it is non-negotiable. So I'm letting people know, when you are saying that you don't think, I'm letting you know, even abroad, they send models home if they argue with the makeup people or the hair people, or they try and change things. I have seen girls where they do makeup, the next thing they get their powder thing and they're changing their foundation. For me, let me just say that one now. The moment I catch you, there's no beg, there's no I'm sorry, there's no kneel down, there's no nothing. Home. I will replace you. There's 100 models that will walk into that outfit.
So many models.
One model will come out twice. I don't care, but for that, you go home. So please say it as it is, Nana. Don't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. That if there's a mood board for a show, that's what is going to happen. You can't come and say, I don't like my hair like that. It's not possible. You know, this is what works for this show. You can't come and tell a show producer what you want. That's not possible. You're a model. You know,
and
you're not a stylist on the team.
I'm agreeing with you on this. They're saying Human says it's very wrong. A model represents. You don't choose your look. Your look should be given to you, which is true.
To you, true.
Femi said you are basically a living mannequin, which is true.
Exactly, true.
Let me just go back a little bit, okay? What I want to say here is that what is your definition, or what do we mean in terms of a model? We're talking about model. When we say grooming and etiquette, please let's explain to them what that actually means.
Okay, firstly, I would say that when you talk about grooming and etiquette, basically like the name sounds, you need to understand, you know, what works for, I think that you need to understand what works for an industry that you want to get into. And that's a lot of mistakes a lot of models make. You have to research, you have to even agencies, if you want to join, for instance, you want to join Mahogany or you want to join Zane, you know, what works for Mahogany doesn't necessarily have to be what works for Zane. You need to understand that this is what is applicable to Mahogany, this is what is applicable to Zane. You also need to be able to carry yourself right. Very important. You know, you have to be able to carry yourself right. You have to be able to invest in yourself. You know, it's not about until you get a job that you know that, oh, I have to take care of my skin, I need to have a beauty regimen. For me, I think that you need to firstly understand, like I said, research. When you've done your research, this is the agency I want to work with. Then you can approach the agency if it's not possible. If they don't come to you, you can approach them. And then after you approach them, you ask questions as well.
Mm-hmm.
Please, what are the requirements to join your agency? It's not about how beautiful you are. If you're beautiful, you do not have character. I'm sorry, I can't even work with you. So character is very important. Your professionalism is very important. When I say professionalism, I mean that for it, I'm going to say something now. For models who go late to a show, it's very rampant in Nigeria. You have a casting or you have a show, you're running late, send a message or make a phone call. If you can't talk to the casting director or you can't talk to the clients, call your agents. Let them know that you're running late. Please, can you tell the casting directors, can you talk to the clients that I'm running late? Oh, there's traffic or there's something. And then you can't tell me there's traffic. You're supposed to be there by 10 and you're getting there by 4 p.m. I don't understand what kind of traffic that is. You need to understand that people work with time and then you're representing a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Models come for casting session. I'm sure you've seen this a lot. Models come for casting. You say, come with black or come with shoes 4 inches and above. Somebody comes with a wedge. It's written there what you're supposed to come with. It's not rocket science. It's written there that this is what you come for casting with. I see that a lot of time in Nigeria, people are just flexible and you just let it go and things like that. But it's not normal. It's not normal practice. They need to learn. My models know that you can't go for a casting wearing wedges.
Mm-hmm.
If I find out that you are there, there's no need. Don't cast. Come back home. There's no need because you're representing Zane when you go out for the casting.
That's right.
So you need to understand that you're representing a brand. Even as a freelance model, you're also a brand of yourself. All that needs to go into consideration. Skin, another thing. Your skin, your shoes, what you wear. In fact, everything, like I said, you're a living mannequin. Everything about you. You go out, somebody is asking you a question. You think that you have the right to be rude to the person because you're a model or because you're a supermodel, and then rejection. I don't think we've really talked about rejection ever. People need to understand, models need to understand that there is going to be a lot of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
So many in your career. A lot of supermodels have gotten so many no's, but people don't understand it. You just see them and then you think they woke up and became supermodels. That's not true. They got so many no's. You get no doesn't mean you need to become nasty to a casting director or to other models or to clients, or you say things about this person when you leave a casting. You probably weren't what they wanted at the time. The requirement, you didn't fit into that requirement at that time. Doesn't mean that they won't pick you the next time or the next year or anything, Basically, you need to work on yourself, learn to pose, then models being shy as well. I think that they need to learn. I think that they
We
need
need to
to.
talk about that because it is a serious issue. It is
Okay,
a very serious issue. I mean, so I'm going to break it down into different areas I want to talk about. Talk about what we need to talk about models being shy. Now, we're talking about etiquette and grooming at the moment. Like I said, we're going to talk on about how you become taking a small agency to compete with the big boys later because I think that's important. But I'm a casting director. I'm a show producer. And guys, if this is X-rated at the moment, so if you're under 18, please come off. I put my explicit
yes.
warning now. We're going to be talking how it is now. So if you're under 18, please come off. We have said it. So Facebook or Instagram, I put out warning there. So a lot of the time, yes, I get a lot of issues. Now, as a casting director, if models don't do what they're supposed to do, the client very rarely goes to the model directly. They will come to me. And I hear such things as, oh, I want to work, I wanted this model, but she's smelling. Her body odor is terrible.
True.
I wanted to put a girl in a revealing outfit, and she hasn't shaved. Her pubic hairs are everywhere, or she has hair
Hair.
under her armpit. Talk to me about this, please. Tell
Okay,
them.
Mr. Shola, to be honest, I can't relate because my models know better. You know, these are things I talk about in my agency. These are things we talk about during trainings. You know, my models know you would not go out there. You have hair, even on your skin, your legs, maybe you're a hairy person. Please shave them off. You know, you need to shave. You know, I talk about these things in the agency. We talk about it. So it's not like they don't know that they're supposed to go out. And that same thing I'm saying, research before you go into anything in life. You want to be a model, you need to research. You can't, and then you have those ones who say that's another thing. If you're not you can't choose your working environment. You cannot do
Mm,
that. So as a model, you need to be able to blend in. You cannot say, "Oh, please, in my church, we're not allowed to go around without wearing bras," because they need you to change. You
stop
need
being a
to
model.
fit. You need to fit. You need to fit into an outfit, and then you're saying, "Can I change? Can I stay somewhere? Oh, is there somewhere I can stay? Is there a robe? Is there something I can come?" Nobody has that time. You need to change, wear what you have to wear, and come out, walk in for the next. So the next person can do the same thing as well. We've said this thing so many times. Some people still won't listen. I hope that people listen from today. You know, you need to shave. As a model, you need to be comfortable in your skin,
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in your body. You know, a lot of times you're not supposed to come for fittings with a bra, but not a lot of people can relate to that. You know, so if you can't do that, there is no need because
Mm-hmm.
I see mails that you send when you have your show that you say, if you cannot, if you're not comfortable, please drop out now so that you can pick other people. But that's how it works because that's what it is. That's the life of a model. You know, nobody's doing anything to you, but that's just how it works. You know, and that's why I say to models who are less than 18, if I want to sign you, please come with your parents or your guardian. I
Mm-hmm.
need to meet them. You know, I want them to know me. I want to know them as well because they need to understand how these things work so that they don't call me on the phone tomorrow and tell me, "Oh, my girl, my daughter told me that when she went, they said she should have, she's a small girl." Oh. We don't want things like that. So
Doesn't
let's
work like
just
that.
clarify. Yes, it works all over the world. Nobody's expecting you to
Yeah.
come with pubic hair like your armpits, your legs. You know, if you're hairy, please learn to shave or wax or something before you go for castings or shows. You know.
Definitely. I just
Mhm.
the life of Zona. He said, "What about guys with hair on the legs? This does not apply to guys, so it's okay.
You know,
It's
this
only
for
once
girls.
in a while that they may ever ask you to shave your leg, but it's very rare, so that does not
Mhm.
remember." Bemi Emmanuel said that I remember when you sent me home because I wore slides to the office,
Yes,
yet alone happy.
you're not allowed to wear slippers or sandals to
Slippers,
my
okay.
office.
Yeah.
Yes, if you walk into my office with slippers or sandals, I seize it. You don't
Um,
walk into my office with slippers or
Anthony,
sandals,
are
no.
you listening? Anthony, I show you they listen. This is what Immaculate does. Immaculate on here. I know
No,
Immaculate
you're not allowed to come to
kills
the
them if
office with
they do
slippers
that
or
sort of
sandals.
stuff. So
No, that's not allowed.
let me just harp on a little bit about this shy thing because it's all about
Hmm.
grooming and etiquette, and it's something that we need to
Yes.
talk about. I mean, the good thing is here's you as an agency owner telling them, here's my perspective as a show director telling them, and I want to explain
Hmm.
to people because I think part of the reason why we have these things that we also want to explain to people why we do it, and I quickly want to break it down to why not wearing bras, not being shy is essential.
Hmm.
We are trying to groom you to take you abroad. When I do
Sure.
shows abroad, yes, I have had occasions when I've worked at New York or London Fashion Week, and a model tries to do this when a designer is fitting them. What the designer does, you see, English people, particularly when it comes to black models, they're a little bit scared to talk to them. So what they would just do, they just walk away. They say, "Excuse me, that model, I don't want her in my show. Can you please send her home? She can't do my show." That's it. There's
That's
nothing I
it.
can do. There's no bed. There's no anything. gone.
Yeah, because
And I will ask
I'm
the
the
director
designer.
why.
You can't choose who's
Yeah,
going to work in my wares.
because
No, it's not
they
possible.
need to see you stand. They need to fit you properly. They don't want you're trying to get a dress. I have seen women try and get out of clothes and into
Hmm.
another clothes without taking off the clothes first. It's
Yes.
like they're trying to be a magician. It doesn't work. The second reason for it is that we have to do very quick changes, which means that we can't
Yes.
send you to a changing room area to the back. You've been
No,
at the
it's not
backstage at
possible.
GT. I
It's not
cannot
possible.
do it. Or London
Hmm.
Fashion Week. I need you to come off. It's here that we're even being nice, where some of the shows will only allow you to do one outfit. There are some shows
Yes.
that you will do
True.
6 outfits in the same show.
At
You are
least.
literally,
Yes.
there's dresses as you come off, they're pulling you out, boom.
And you're
The
very, yes.
average changing time for a models, if you're listening, is meant to be 30 seconds. If you're taking more than 30 seconds to change, you are very slow. So these are the reasons why we do it. And what then happens, and I'm sure Nana's going to speak to this more, when you don't do it and I send you home. Because,
Hmm.
Nana, what's it like when I tell you that I've sent a model home because they were shy, they were smelling, that body odor? How do you feel when that happens to you?
Okay, so to be honest, if my mother comes back home or comes back to the office because they were sent home or something, excuse me, Mr. Shah. So
So, guys, okay, go on.
if my mother comes back home because you were sent home for maybe not, not being sluggish, first of all, or giving, because a lot of designers are going to think you were giving them an attitude by not wanting to change, or they don't understand that you're shy because they don't even have the patience or the time at that time. They're trying to do everything as quickly as possible. So you giving them issues, they don't want you on their show. So if you, my mother, is coming back down, because I brief you before you go for castings or before you go for a show. So you know what works in Zane. So you go out there and you go to embarrass me and you together, and then they send you back to me. What happens is this: I still get my percentage.
Good.
So you know at the back of your mind that if you are sent home for your carelessness, I'm still going to get my percentage. So when you do another job, I'm going to keep
You
taking it
deduct it.
until it's
Yes,
complete.
that's right.
So it's either you want to do this job, you are a model. I have told you this is what's applicable. If you do not want to do it, please don't go there. And that's why I tell them, you need to learn in front of your mirror, go on YouTube, give your friend the phone to take pictures of you, keep practicing your poses, keep practicing your walks. If you have to go naked in front of your friends and all that to get
Mhm.
confident, do it so that you build your confidence professional.
Okay, so moving on a little bit from this now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes when they're at
Mm-hmm.
shows, you see models, they feel that they need to be very polite to the show producer, polite to the model booker.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to other
Mm-hmm.
people like fellow models, interns, makeup and hair people on the show, they
Mm-hmm.
sometimes develop nasty attitudes or feel that they can be rude or talk down to them anyhow. What's the etiquette? What's the professional way that they're supposed to work and manage themselves when they're on shows?
It's quite simple, Mr. Shola. You go for a show. They tell you, let's say there's breakfast, they're lodging you, right? Breakfast is 7 a.m.
Mm,
Be there at, if possible, 10 minutes to 7. Have breakfast. Hair and makeup is by 8. Please be there ready by 8 for your hair and makeup.
hmm
Somebody is maybe hot comb or trying to straighten your hair, and then it's hurting you. Oh, please, it's hurting me. Very politely, excuse me, can you adjust it a little bit? It's very hot or something. You don't have to, you don't have to be rude. You pass your message politely. Nobody's trying to hurt you on purpose. Nobody's doing that to you. And then you do not say things like, then some people be like, I don't want you see mothers say, I don't want him to do my makeup, or I don't want her to do my makeup. My darling, you're not there to choose. Whoever is
Mhm.
assigned to do your makeup, sit down and do your makeup. Because everybody's trying to work with time. The show
Straight.
Mr. Shola, but you know how it works with me
Hmm.
now. So, um, really, there are 1,001 models that want to do the same thing
Yes,
you
sir.
do. You need to understand that first of all. So, if you're not ready to be professional, please leave the show. As
Hmm.
a model, you know that you are representative of yourself or your agency. You are a brand. You can't treat every other person, even if you know this person before, this is someone who is your friend, you cannot
Hmm.
come out there and then give attitude. I think that's the problem with models. A lot of them think, same thing I said about confidence and arrogance. You know, you need to be able to draw the line. Please just be on time. Mr. Shola, you need to, as a model, you have to work with time. You have to be on time. You need to be nice. You can't be nice to just your model managers and become rude to the hairstylist or the makeup artist or the interns on the show or whoever is, or the
Hmm.
caterers or anything. You can't be rude to other people. You can't choose who to be rude to and who to be nice to. Then it means you're not really a nice person because you're rude to some people and then you're nice to some people.
True. Some people are saying they're struggling to hear you. I can hear you clearly, so I'm just assuming that the people that are having issues, it's issues at your network because I can hear you clearly. But what I want
Mm-hmm.
to talk about now, which is a number of models have brought it up, like Femi Emmanuel and a
Mm-hmm.
few others have brought up this as well, and they want to
Okay.
talk about bleaching. So what I want to say is that so Bemi's question was quite specific. It says, what asked that can we throw more um light on skin?
Skincare.
Because I feel
Okay.
people will mistake taking care of skin for bleaching. So what is the difference between those that take care of their skin and those that end up suddenly going from ebony black to mustard yellow?
Okay. So I said something in that you should have a beauty regimen. Your beauty regimen can just be coconut oil. Your beauty regimen can be um, whatever they recommend to you at the dermat when you go to skincare clinic. There are some creams that you use that you think are going to clear out your spots because you have spots, but they have those things. I'm not sure what the name is called that bleaches your skin. You need to be careful. I have a
Mm-hmm.
girl who I would say puberty. She was growing older, and so she kept having breakouts, and she was getting depressed, And then she had used so many things, and then we noticed it was like she was starting to bleach, So we knew it wasn't the right product she was using. What we did was to send her
Mm-hmm.
to a skincare clinic, and recommended what she needed to use, and her skin is very smooth, clean right now, and she's not bleaching, So your skincare could be what soap you use, also, sleeping. You need to learn to sleep because when you do not sleep, the other part of your eye starts to get darker. So you need to be able to sleep. Drink a lot of water. You need to learn to drink.
Like my
You always
yeah,
have to
no,
drink.
I know.
Sashola, we're not talking about you. So you need to learn to drink a lot of water. Water, I know, helps, keeps you hydrated.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you need to learn to drink a lot of water. Eat right. Even the food that you eat, exercise.
Mm,
Nobody's asking you to buy bleaching cream. Nobody's asking you to go from ebony black to being fair. We like you dark skin. We like you fair. If you're fair, remain fair. If you're dark skin, please remain dark skin. We do not want you to go
that's
from
right.
being dark skinned to being light skinned. No, that's not what we want. So
Debbie of Lagos says coconut oil and black
and
soap.
black soap.
But my
Yes.
understanding of black soap was that black soap bleaches the skin. Is that right?
I don't think so, Mr. Shola. I don't think
Hey,
so.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think
about that
so.
black soap. Oh,
Mr.
that
But
black
okay,
soap
the
is
same
a
like what I'm
bleacher.
saying. You notice when you're using a product and it's not working for you, so you stop it. Because black soap works for some people. It also might
Mm-hmm.
Herbs and all that they use. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
using just chemicals because chemicals what bleaches your skin. So I recommend natural products. Drink water, eat right, exercising. It doesn't just come easy. That's why I said being a model is not all glamorous as everybody
It's
thinks.
hard work.
There's a lot of work that goes
Mm-hmm.
into being a model. Hmm.
I mean, House of Ra says, as a fashion design house, we stand strongly against skin bleaching and strongly encourage models to stop doing that. We like to work with models who have their natural color, and as a designer, she can tell. And I think models need to listen to this because sometimes when you say
True.
you're not given a job, I think,
Hmm.
ah, why wasn't I given a job? It might be these little things
Things.
that is
True.
making the difference that is stopping you from getting that job.
Yeah, job.
Um, a lot of people say they use black soap. Well, if you guys say you use black
With
soap
actual
and it
see.
doesn't bleach, I go accept it to my own that black soap. I'm not sure about it. Anyway, so I wanted to ask you this thing, right?
Okay.
I do shows and people come to the office, they might come to the show, they do a casting, yes, and
Hmm.
that models don't respect the space that they come to. So there's litter, there's rubbish, there's clothes, there's bags, there's please before when I first started this thing, Nana, I used to go around, I will collect bra, I will collect pants, I will collect one shoe. I'm not joking. Sanitary towels, I will there's all kinds of things they would just leave all over the place, which I can never understand. Like, aunties, you find them ever. What's your thoughts on this?
Mr. Shola, I'm sorry, but this it sounds that very strange that somebody will just leave their bras. That's like I don't understand how careless you can be to leave your sanitary towels lying all over the place, leave your bras, leave your
Trust me.
panties.
If it was taking photographic evidence, I will have my camera will be full of my. I won't have space on my camera.
Mr. Shola, I think that before you, that's why you have model managers, right? Before the models leave, they need to clear, they need to clear wherever they have stayed, the backstage where, everybody pick up your stuff, because any other thing that is there then is going to be thrown away, But then the models need to know that once the show is over, you go backstage, you pick up whatever it is that you have left carelessly, because, but Mr. John, I don't understand the bra pants, sanitary towel.
Okay, see why is confirming it now. We have it all the time. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Seriously, I've told my staff now not to bother collecting anymore because we'll just have a whole
No, no, no.
a
Wait,
boot
I don't.
of
You people
junk.
keep it. You people keep it for them to come back to claim it.
Some of them we used to, but we stopped it now. We
No,
just
throw
thought,
them
well, if you
away. You
can't
don't.
be
You don't. You
bothered
don't
to
need to
find your
keep
suit
them.
or
When you
bra,
finish, you need to go back and clear out your things. After the show. What happens? Are you supposed to come back to Mahogany office to say that? Oh, I left this thing there. It's the show is over. The show is over now. Everybody has gone back to their normal lives.
oh, that's how it should be. So me, I've stopped it now. I've stopped it now. So
But the models should know. You can as well tell them when they are done. Go back stage. Make sure that you don't have any belongings that you have left behind because some of them might get carried away. The show is over, they're trying to rush back or something. So just make sure that you go back and pick up your things. Anything you don't pick up is gone. So you can't come back 2 days after and say that you left something behind.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going in. Okay, so this question, I'll come back to it. Um, so I wanted to ask you something slightly different now. Okay,
Okay,
so guys, we
okay.
want to move on to something slightly different with the time that we have left. And just by way of an introduction, what I wanted to say is that Nana started her agency in 2017, which is a small agency. She set up at the time. She's now become one of the medium, moving towards being one of the big agencies. So, what I wanted to ask you is, what is it like competing against the so-called big boys of the modeling industry? What are the kind of things that both not just you as an agency, but also as your model's face. Because when I sometimes do New York or I do London or whatever, you sometimes see the girls, they're walking around like, oh, I'm from IMG, I'm from Ford, I'm Wilhelmina. You're from where? Oh, sorry, I've never heard of that agency before. Oh, really?
True.
Okay. How do you and your models deal with that?
Um, Me personally, I understood that this is how it's going to be. You don't wake up you don't just start today and then become number one. You're going to have to gradually climb the ladder. So that's an understanding that I have. And I think when you have that understanding, it's easier for you to keep working hard and re-strategizing until you get to the top. I've had to re-strategize, Mr. Shella. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't how I started that I went on. Like I said to you, that trip made a lot of difference in my life and in my agency, because I opened up and somebody was willing to teach me, and tell me the challenges that I was going to face that I could understand that I was already facing. But you see, the thing is, the models don't really understand. So you have models who feel like, oh, you hear things like they didn't pick me because I'm from Zane, because I'm not from this agency, or because I'm not from that
That's
agency.
right.
You
That's
hear things
right.
like that, but I make them
Mm-hmm.
understand that that's not true, because the minute you fool your models when they tell you they didn't pick them because they're not from this agency, then they go on thinking they are being cheated of something that belongs to them.
That's right.
So when your model comes to say that to you, you need to change their mindset. And so what I say to them is, don't worry, you're good enough. This person,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't meet up with this criteria, but when you go again, they will pick you. Keep going, they'll pick you one day. And it actually eventually happened that you will go and then they pick one person, and before you know, they're picking two people. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But I never thought about fighting anybody or saying anybody was trying to cheat me. I could understand they were there before me. And another thing that helped me, when I think about how many years they have been there, I understand that I haven't paid my dues. I'm just starting up. I'm just coming up. So I'm going to pay my dues and I'm going to get there. And by the time I get there as well, I don't want somebody else saying, oh, it's because it's Zane. I worked to get
That's
to
right.
that point where I am. So whether
Mm-hmm.
you say it's because she's from Zane Models or he's from Zane Models, that's why he was picked. That's whatever rocks your boat. But I know that these models had to. Some of my models left. Some were rude, some had issues, some would say things like, some called names, said things, but it didn't bother me, because I have a goal. The most important thing is having a goal. Once you have a goal, it's not about what works for agency A or B or C. What is your own goal for your
Mm-hmm.
agency? So
Mm-hmm.
I'd always worked towards my goal, Mr. Shola. And to be honest, you know that about me. I do not assume, I ask questions. I ask questions
Yeah.
a lot. I do not just assume that this is what is happening or this is what other people are doing. And I can understand people who have been there before me and I can ask them questions. It's left for you to tell me, to answer me, or to tell me, oh, you're not going to answer me, or to lie to me about things. But then I'm an adult, so I know when you're being. Same thing with international placements. You know, it's one step at a time. You go for this casting this year, they don't pick you. You go next year, they pick you.
Don't
Does it
don't
mean
go
they
on
didn't
to the
like you last
international
year?
placement yet. Don't talk about that yet.
No,
I wanna deal
no.
with that separately. Hold on that international placement. Just hold on
Okay.
that one. Let's not
Okay.
go to
So
there yet.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
that. So
I just want to just look at some of the things that some of the people are saying. Like Nena says, when I don't get picked, I tell myself that I'm not what they're looking for, and it's okay. And that's
yes.
so true. She says every show has its criteria, and it
True.
doesn't mean that the models picked were better than me, which is
Better.
true. House of Ra says, as long as you believe in your goal, the
Yourself.
whole universe will work with you towards achieving your goal. And it's very true. And I just want, why I don't want to go into international placement, I wanted to pick up on two key things that you said. And that is number one, yes, I'm going to be honest, it does happen, guys, all right, that sometimes a certain agency or agencies will be favored over other people. And it's not for any particular reason, it just might be that that particular client is used to those models, is used to
Models.
that agency. And
True.
everybody, when you're doing a show, you want the least amount of stress possible. So if you might say, okay, I'll take on a few new models, but let me have the majority that I know the clothes already fit them. They've done a photo shoot for me before. They've done my lookbook. There's a variety of reasons
Yes.
why they might go to that. It does not mean
True.
that, oh, they only pick these people's girls. They only pick those
Because
people's girls.
yes.
It is not
Mm-hmm.
like that. Second thing on that one is that I, for instance, yes, and I have two ways that I do my castings. There's one way that I do my casting where I just simply say, I don't want to know your agency. I don't care. Just walk
True.
and I pick you. And
Yes.
for people like Immaculate, Anthony, Wiry, those people that know me, I know how many times I don't remember names. My own models will tell you that I see them at castings and I don't even know who they
I
are.
don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't even know who they are. Do you understand? I have to tell my model,
Mm-hmm.
keep reintroducing yourself. When you see me at shows, remind me that you're my model. So something like me now, I'm not looking at you based on your agency. I really don't care.
Agency.
Do
Yes.
you fit what I want as a job? So, and you, the final thing I want to say about that, guys, everybody needs to remember is this. For some shows, like when I did Fashion Finance Africa, Nana, I needed 25 girls. I had nearly
I remember.
1,600 girls that showed up. People, be real. Not all of you are going to make it. And it's got nothing
That's
to do with
truth.
whether you're with Zane or
Mm-hmm.
because this or because of that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
one of those things. It is life. Accept it. Keep being good. Keep doing what you have to do. And eventually you will
You
start to
get
get picked.
exactly. You get
You will get
picked.
that recognition. Let's talk about um, international placement before we disappear. Because as we look at Nana now, sorry, Nana, I have to open yourself. I have to open up your thing for everybody to see. Okay, Nana has, in such a short space of time, she has placed her models with IMG. She's placed them with other top agencies. Select. I can't even begin to name all the models and all the agencies that you have placed. So why I'm bringing this up now is that a lot of models think that if they come to a Mahogany or they come to a Zane, that their chances of getting placed, getting an international placement is very slim. So they sometimes try to use us as what I call feeder agencies. They come to us, get us to train them, and as soon as it's possible, they try and get out of their contract to run away to a so-called bigger agency. And most of them, when they go there, they end up being left behind. But anyway, so talk to us about that. What's your experience been like about getting your models placed and dealing with that? Nana, can you hear me? Did you hear me? Okay, okay.
It's 1 month. They haven't placed me. You
Nana,
know.
they're struggling to hear you. They're all saying they
Uh,
can't hear you. They
I
say
don't
they can hear
know.
me, but they can't hear you. I
Can
can
you
hear you
hear me?
clearly.
I don't know what
Guys,
the
I can
problem
hear
is.
her without any problem whatsoever.
I can't see anything I'm supposed to touch here.
I'm not sure.
Everybody
Anyway,
can.
there will be the recorded version. So, guys, you might have to watch it again later on. But they're all saying
Should
that
I call
everyone's
and
saying there's no sound.
re-request? Should I
Yes,
record
try
the
again,
call?
please.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going to happen is Nana's going to come off. She's going to come back on again, and we're going to see if we can hear her. Oh, you people are now saying you can hear her now. I think there's a delay and whatever it is, so she's going to come back again now. We're also running out of time. Guys, is this something we should continue? Should we try and do an extra 30 minutes afterwards, or we should end it here? Let me know, guys, sending your messages, because we've only got about 3 to 5 minutes left. Yes? Um, so she's going to come back on now. So we'll take that question again. Nana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think that's better now. You know what internet is like now. So sorry, you might need to just start again. Let me just briefly say what I was asking Nana. What I was asking Nana was that how is she able to, as a small agency, get her girls placed into some of the bigger agencies abroad? What are the sort of things that she faced as a small agency? So how has that worked for you?
Okay, so like I said earlier, we it's a normal thing in my agency. Everybody knows not everybody's going to get international placement. So you're not sitting down and waiting for international placement.
Mm-hmm.
You're working here. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But it doesn't mean we're not going to try to place you. I've had a model who wanted to join my agency, and she said to one of my models, "I'm coming to your agency because I want international placement. Are you people going to place me?" And then I said, I do not want that girl in my agency, because you're not coming to me because you believe that Zane is going to groom you and they're going to build a career for you
That's right.
here in Nigeria as well. You don't just want a career abroad, you want a career in your home country as well. I do not want to just be recognized abroad. I want to be recognized in my home country as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what it is. Sometimes you don't even fit the criteria. They have the criteria, they have what you're looking for. You can't come to me, you're a size 10, and then you're asking me to place in. I can't do that right now. Maybe there's some agencies who are looking for plus size models. I know they take some agencies take plus size models abroad, but I don't think they take African plus size models just yet. So I would not promise a size 10 model international placement. I wouldn't even promise anybody international placement. If it works out, it works out. You need to be patient. Very importantly, you need to be patient. You need to understand that you need to count your little wins. It's not until you go to Paris or you go to London or you go to Milan that you know that you're doing something right. No. So for international placement, they have what they're looking for. You have to be unique. There are
Mm-hmm.
so many black girls. What is the thing that sells you? What is that thing that's your personality? Your pictures need to reflect your personality. There's a lot of things that goes into international placement that these models don't understand. You're booking all the shows in Nigeria, but they're not getting international placement, and you're wondering why. That means my agent is not good enough. That's not true. Your agent
Mm-hmm.
is trying. They're working. You have to be patient, because once you're not patient, that's the bottom line. Once you're not patient, you don't even realize what is working for you already. You don't even count the good things that are working for you. You know, you have or you see models who you want me to place you internationally. You send me a picture with full makeup.
Mm-hmm.
If placement here, you send me a picture, I can't see your natural skin. What am I supposed to send to agents?
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to send them international a makeup, a beauty queen, and I'm sending it to them and I'm saying you're a model? That's another thing. There's a difference between being a beauty queen and being a model. You can be
Oh,
both,
yes.
but you need to understand there is a difference. So for
Mm-hmm.
international placements, I think that I also noticed I made some mistakes when I started, Mr. Shola. I basically had to start afresh, to be honest. I basically had to start afresh. I'm going to say this thing here
So
online
what kind of
quickly.
mistakes? Talk to us. What kind of mistakes?
Um, about the kind of models I was signing,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I had to do, let me not say me, it's my team who had to come together to properly do a complete research to see, okay, this is what the international market wants. I won't just take all the credit because I
Mm-hmm.
have a team that works with me. So my team, we all sat down together and and then we did a research and we said, this is what they want. You need to have enviable cheekbones. Once you have enviable cheekbones, that's natural for you. You're tall, that's a plus. You're also there are other agencies. We also need to understand. Some agencies want editorial models. Some agencies want commercial models. You need to understand what the agency wants, and then you know what model to propose to them as well. So you can't send a commercial model to an editorial agency. They won't take that model, not because the model is not good enough, but because that's not what they're looking for.
Right.
So you need to be able to understand the difference and what agencies are looking for. Yeah.
Okay. So, by popular demand, I don't know if my thing is going to finish after 1 hour. I mean, some people seem to be able to do it longer than 1 hour. Mine is being funny. But by popular demand, everybody has said that they are just loving what you're saying. So if we get to that countdown period, they want you to come back. Maybe if we can just do an extra half an hour, because they're just loving everything that you're saying. Nana, you see, now this is what comes up when you are too good at what you do. Do you understand? One of the things that House of Ra, she keeps retyping it, so I better read it. Otherwise, I'm sure she will send it to me 100 times. House of Ra says, we have seen ethnic models walk for labels like Iris Van Hagen, I can't read it probably, but those models have a very different structure that fits the brand. Designer brand aesthetic is something that really influences things. I think what she's trying to say is that black models have different shapes to Caucasian models.
Yes.
So therefore, it's not an automatic that you're going to get picked by different types of designers, and it's not also automatic that you're going to get taken by agencies. One of the biggest problems that we have as black women, and this is across the African continent, it's not just about Nigeria, is our hip sizes. You could be as skinny as this, and your hip, yeah,
very true, very
that
true,
alone
and that's a problem.
Is a problem. I mean, I remember I've got a model on my tile, and they said she was too big, and she's like a 34, 24, 34. I think she has. I mean, by Nigerian standards, they say she's pepperless.
Sorry, coming in, she's 34, 24, 34.
Yeah, I think she's maybe 34, 35. Anthony will correct me later if there was an issue, but I know that she went to one or two castings in Paris, and they were saying that she was too big. And I'm looking at, I had to tell her, I said, if you are too big, do not starve yourself. Let them just take you at this. Because your bones, when the collarbone is nearly reaching her chin, that's how bad she is in terms of there's no flesh on her body. And they're saying that she should be slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. So, what I want to do now, because I'm getting a countdown, I've got 1 minute, 11 seconds left. Everybody, we're going to come straight back, so do not disappear. And when we're going to come back, Nana is going to tell you the kind of problems she has with her models when they're placed abroad, all right? And the things that they do wrong and what they shouldn't be doing and why some models get sent back. I'm sure some of you have friends that get sent back and they'll be posting that everything was okay. So, guys, we're going to come back straight back. Please do not disappear. I'm just going to log off and log back in. Everybody, we're back in a second. All right, so please join us in a second.